Hola, señorita. Soy señor Maresca. ¿Cómo están? Well, we're going to continue with lesson 4 and the subjunctive. Another noun clause, the subjunctive and noun clause. This time, it's with doubt, disbelief, and denial. And this fits the future is a mist really well, because whenever you doubt something may happen, it may happen anyway. You don't know, I don't know, no one knows. The future is a mist. So get your notes ready, continue with the video. If you have any questions, any concerns, next class, nos vemos. Muchas gracias. So here we are, ladies, with the subjunctive and noun clauses. This is our last use of noun clauses. This is use number 3, the subjunctive and expressions of doubt, disbelief, and denial. So it follows the same idea that we've used in the other noun clauses, where we have the main clause and the subordinate clause. Remember, the main clause always will have the indicative. Please remember that, the indicative. So we have the verb dudan. That's in the indicative. And then here is your subjunctive right here, and I'll just abbreviate that. But remember, the subjunctive is always in the subordinate clause. And whenever the subordinate clause uses an expression of doubt, disbelief, or denial, the subjunctive will be used. Remember that there must be a change in subject for that to occur. In the main clause, we'll have one subject. The subordinate clause will have another subject. For example, dudan que su hijo, there's your change in subjects, les diga la verdad. They doubt that their son told them the truth. Well, just because they doubt it doesn't mean he may have told them the truth. And so now we have a list of verbs and expressions of doubt, disbelief, and denial. Here they are. Dudar. Negar is a fantastic word. Negar, to deny. In Spanish, whenever someone denies that something is happening or someone says something, that will be the subjunctive. Here we have creer, no creer. You remember creer to mean to believe or to think. When it's no creer, the subjunctive must be used as long as you have a change in subject. And then we have two other common expressions right here. And now we'll continue with other expressions and verbs of doubt, disbelief, and denial. Notice how a lot of these begin with no. No es seguro, no es verdad. In Spanish, whenever you say that something is not certain or true, the subjunctive is used. Whenever you say something is impossible or improbable, and of course the no es posible, no es probable, that's basically es imposible, es improbable, and you have a change in subject, the subjunctive will be used. And now look at all of these nice examples of doubt, disbelief, and denial. Dudo que el gobierno resuelva el problema. Remember, whenever someone doubts that something is happening, the subjunctive is used. Here's the expression, no es verdad. In Spanish, whenever you say it's not true, the subjunctive is used. No es verdad que mi hermano estudie ecología. Whenever you say it's probable that something may happen, it's a good example. Just because it's probable that something may happen, it may not happen. Es probable que haya menos bosques y selvas en el futuro. And then we have the word negar right here. And of course, governments always deny things. And so, el gobierno niega que el agua esté contaminada. These are fantastic examples of doubt, disbelief, and denial. Now, with this use, you need to be careful because we can have indicative sentences whenever there is no doubt or uncertainty in the main clause. So you need to be careful. The indicative used in the subordinate clause when there is no doubt or uncertainty in the main clause. And I am providing you with a list of expressions. Here they are. And as you can see, they're almost the opposite, either affirmative or negative, of the first list. those of doubt, disbelief, and denial that trigger the subjunctive. So we have no dudar. Whenever you say, I do not doubt something may happen, that is true to the speaker, so the indicative is used. And then the other expressions, no cabe duda de, no hay duda de, and then look at negar is here again, but it's no negar. So whenever you do not deny something, it means it's true. And then we have creer right there, creer. So whenever you say, I believe that something may happen, that will be the indicative. Whenever you say, I don't believe that something may happen, that's subjunctive in Spanish. So you really need to think in Spanish, not English. And then we have these expressions right here, which are the affirmative part of what you learned in the previous list, that list that uses doubt, disbelief, and denial to trigger the subjunctive. These are estar seguro, es cierto, es seguro, es verdad, es obvio. Now in these examples right here, we can see that we have the main clause, which is all about being certain. So the indicative is used. Es verdad que Colombia es un país bonito. It's true. So the speaker, because the speaker is saying it's true, that will be indicative. Es obvio que los tigres están en peligro de extinción. And then we have the expression no hay duda. No hay duda de que el Amazonas es uno de los ríos más largos. So the speaker thinks that is true. And so the indicative is used. And then once again we have the verb negar, but this time we're saying we don't deny. No negamos que hay demasiados carros en las carreteras. We don't deny that there are too much or too many cars on the highways. So that to the speaker is true. The indicative is used. So let's take a moment to review. Vamos a repasar. There's the line. Vamos a repasar. Just like verbs of expressions of will, influence, and emotion, those were the first two uses of the subjunctive that you learned. Verbs and expressions of doubt, disbelief, and denial use the subjunctive in the subordinate clause. Yo dudo que mi novia me quiera. I doubt that my girlfriend loves me. Oh my goodness. How sad, ¿verdad? No es verdad que ella me deje. It's not true that she's leaving me. Thank goodness. No creo que ella pueda vivir sin mí. I don't believe she can live without me. Notice, these are verbs of doubt, disbelief, and denial. The subjunctive is used in the subordinate clause. Now we need to remember, with verbs and expressions that eliminate, and it's real important, eliminate doubt, disbelief, and denial, the indicative is used in the subordinate clause. Yo no dudo que mi novia me quiere. I don't doubt that my girlfriend loves me. Oh, how nice, ¿verdad? Es verdad que ella me deja. Oh, no. It's true that she's leaving me. Remember, dejar means to leave something behind or someone behind. You would use this to say, whenever you get rid of a boyfriend, you would say, voy a dejarlo. I'm going to leave him. And then, creo que ella puede vivir sin mí. Oh, my goodness. I believe that she can live without me. And then here, please remember the difference between creer and no creer. The verb creer expresses belief or certainty, so it's followed by the indicative. In negative sentence, when doubt is implied, creer is followed by the subjunctive. So no creo is doubt or disbelief, and so the subjunctive is used. No creo que haya vida en el planeta Marte. I don't believe there's life on the planet Mars. Creo que is something that is certain or believed. Creo que hay vida en el planeta Marte. So I believe there is life on the planet Mars. So somebody can say, I don't believe that there's life on Mars, and somebody can say, I believe that there's life on Mars. Notice the difference. The subjunctive versus the indicative. And then finally, señoritas, we have this expression. There are two of them I'd like you to learn, quizás and tal vez. And they're usually followed by the subjunctive because they imply doubt. Now, Señor Maresca would like to emphasize that when you're thinking about the future and you use quizás, never used with a K, it's just an expression like ojalá, but never used with a K, and you're thinking about the future, the subjunctive is usually used in Spanish. So, quizás haga sol mañana. Perhaps it will be sunny tomorrow. Notice the subjunctive there. Tal vez, which also means perhaps. Tal vez veamos la luna esta noche. See, so we're talking about the future. And so the subjunctive is used. And that will wrap it up now. This is our last use of the subjunctive in noun clauses, the subjunctive with doubt, disbelief, and denial. Muchas gracias.